Hey, Alan here for Old English Outfitters. So today we have the Walther PDP Pro. This is the compact size. Presumably there will be some other sizes with the Pro features. The PDP has been a very successful platform for Walther. It's essentially a very much refined PPQ, which was always a very good pistol for them. The Pro version has taken the basic PDP and made some very interesting and very nice changes to it. Again, this is, you shoot these things and you get feedback from customers and the company gets feedback, so they do some things to improve performance out of the gun. So this comes with, first of all, three 18-round magazines. And you kind of want that because on the bottom of this pistol, we have a very large, very nicely shaped, flared magazine well. So that makes loading these things really, really easy. They jet right in there with no problem at all. But you want that longer base plate so that it sticks out so that you can actually get them in there and seat them correctly. And this is really, really nicely done. For my hand, I don't have huge hands. For my hand, this grip configuration, just almost perfect. This locks me right in there. It was a really, really nice, really comfortable gun to shoot. That's kind of the first thing that or at least for me, that I noticed about this was this. The second thing that you notice about it is this, extended threaded barrel. So it's suppressor ready. Suppressors are a big thing. Lots of people are buying suppressors, figuring out how to do it and getting them. So Walther set this up to be suppressor ready. So in keeping with that, in being suppressor ready, they also include with the gun a different recoil spring assembly. It's a heavier recoil spring assembly, so if you put a suppressor on, you swap to the heavier recoil spring assembly so you maintain the reliability of the gun. That's a really nice touch. It's a really smart thing for them to do. This way you're not running a gun out, somebody puts a suppressor on and says, hey, I'm having reliability problems with it. Now, you got everything you need to make this thing run if you're going to put a suppressor on it. Some of the rest of the features are pretty much the same as the standard PDPs. You got the Picatinny rail underneath. You got front and rear cocking serrations. They're nice and deep. We have a good set of sights, 3 dots. Their rear one is adjustable, windage and elevation. The grip on this has some really good texturing on it. This polymer frame on these things, I've always been impressed with these. They don't feel like they're polymer. They feel more like they're metal. They're not, but they feel more like it. Really sturdy, solid stuff. Back straps, small, medium, large. I think this might be the small that's on this one. Got extended slide release on both sides. By the way, when you've got an extended slide release like this, it sits back. Makes it very, very easy to trip with your shooting hand thumb. Also makes it very, very easy, as happened to me once out there, to have your shooting hand thumb bearing on it just enough so that when the last round fires, the slide doesn't stay open. That happens sometimes with pistols that have these sorts of things. Anytime you're riding a slide release, that can happen. So those are pretty much common. But we got 2 other things they've done with the Pro that's different than the standard gun. The first one's up on top, optics ready. And you're saying, well, yeah, okay, but the other ones were optics ready. We're okay. But product improvement. We're learning as we go along, right? So what they've done with this optics cut is they have put some more lugs in there to make this whole setup sturdier when the optic is mounted on it. I don't know that they've had problems with the others, but sometimes you look at things and say, you know what, let's improve this so that, especially with long-term use, we don't have problems. So we have a little refinement in the design of the optics cut. The other thing we have is the trigger. The trigger's metal, by the way. It has the little centerpiece. And if you look at it very closely, you can see it is very flat, especially when you push that in. It is very flat, very straight. We've talked about this before. If you take a trigger that pivots like this trigger does, it pivots. You take a trigger that pivots and you make the front surface of it flat. It feels more like it's pulling straight back, like a 1911 style trigger, which is very, very good in how that trigger feels. Even if it's heavier weight, it feels better when it feels like it's pulling straight back. Well, that's the purpose of this. This trigger also has a very positive stop back here, over travel stop. It's just an extension on the back of that. It does not over travel. When it comes back, bang, it stops. You can double tap this thing like that. Really, really good shooting pistol. They call it their dynamic performance trigger or performance dynamic trigger, one of those. And it's rated at 3.8 pounds. So it's a pretty good trigger. Can you go lighter? You could go lighter, but on a defensive pistol, it's not a good idea. Not a good idea a lot of times to go too light, because then you run into problems with you're gonna engage it, fire before you want to, whether you're defensively acting or whether you're shooting at a target. If you shoot too quickly, bullet doesn't go where you want it to go. So, very, very good trigger. This is an impressive pistol. As you're going to see from some of the video, handling it, shooting it was really, really nice. It just sits there, doesn't move. Again, for me, this grip was just almost perfect. Really locks me in, especially this flared part on that flared magazine well at the bottom. Just really kind of locks you in. If you're left-handed, no problem. The magazine release will reverse, and you've got that large ambidextrous slide lock release lever there. This is a really nice gun. It is, in fact, a performance-improved PDP, which is an excellent pistol to start with. This compact size is pretty good. I think if I were looking at one hard, I'd probably look at that size. If you need more barrel, they're probably going to have that. They've made the PDP in several barrel lengths, several grip configurations, as I'm sure you know. This one, though, boy, it's got all the bells and whistles. We got the updated optics cut. We got the suppressor-ready configuration, 3 18-round mags. The same thing as they've done with the other PDPs. You contact Walther for whatever sight you're going to put on it. They'll send you the sight plate if you're going to mount an optic on it. The sights it has are pretty good. They work just fine. If you don't want to put an optic and you want to stick with iron sights, these aren't bad at all. So there you go. The Walther PDP Pro. Great trigger, high capacity, optics ready, suppressor ready, everything that we're looking for in modern pistols like this these days, right? We're probably going to have these. As always, check with us for current price and availability, because sometimes that goes up and down. We know that, right? So check with us on that. As always, thank you very much for watching. We appreciate it greatly. We've had a lot of good comments, and we appreciate it. As you know, we try to keep it short, stick to the subject, and just give you the goods on what you're looking at. So, again, thank you, and we'll see you next time. I'm Alan for Old English Outfitters.